head coach Chris Sacco is in his second year leading the Greyhounds. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Sully, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for taking a few minutes.
No problem. Thank you.
Your second year leading the program. First off, tell us what interested you in this job. I mean, obviously, some tough times over there in Pleasantville, and a big challenge for a coach to get this program turned around. What was it that sold you on taking this job?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to been around great programs my whole life, and being around great coaches and coaching staffs, and just had good football people around me my whole life. And I coached at St. Joe. I played at Hamilton. I coached at Hamilton, and I figured, why not try to rebuild the program like both of those coaches did. And it's really a great opportunity. I mean, the kids are great here. And I just really wanted a challenge. And we're getting it here, and we're getting things together. And I would say that's probably the biggest thing that I wanted to do was just come in and try to build a program and get these kids to experience some winning and something to be proud of. And they're getting there. So some really fun kids out there, a lot of great personalities and a lot of good energy. And I know when I stopped by yesterday, they were all kind of like, "Hey, who's this? You know what? There's a reporter out here," so they get a little excited. And it's neat to see that hey, they're getting a little bit of coverage. And how cool is that to see these guys sort of mature and not only mature as young men, but also as football players. And you're starting to see some results from the last year of hard work. I know you had these guys in the weight room ever since January, so they're a little bit higher commitment level, I'd say. Yeah, definitely. I mean, last year when we got started, we didn't get started until June. We didn't know the kids. We didn't know, the program. We were just, we just assembled the staff, so we were still all getting acclimated to each other, to the kids. And then this year, it's really just been a continuation from the season of last year. We laid a nice foundation last year. We got in here in January. The kids were excited since January. When the schedules came out, they were really excited because they got to see who they're facing this year. So that kind of re-energized everybody again. And really, we had a nice winter and spring, and then it continued throughout the summer. So, but, talking on a personal level, too, with the students, not just as athletes, I mean, we've seen, leaders evolve. We've seen, kids were out here throwing the ball by themselves. Our skill guys in February, they were out here on Saturdays, just out here throwing the ball and trying to, get everything up to speed. So this way we can hit the ground running this year. So the commitment level is definitely there. We just would like to get some more guys involved in the program, and we're hoping that if we can win some games this year, ultimately that will get more kids excited to come out for next year. But they are great personalities. They like when, the reporters come out and they can see that, people are taking notice of Pleasantville football again, and it's exciting for them. It's, it re-energizes them for the week, and it helps us as a staff because we get good practices out of them. So we're hoping that'll just continue to build and carry us to some wins this year.
Talking with Coach Chris Sacco from Pleasantville High School football team. Coach, I think I've done a little bit of coaching a couple of years ago with Vineland baseball, and one thing that Coach John Malatesta from that baseball program told me as a guy who had never really coached before. He played at a decent level, Division II, but I never really coached high school boys before. And one thing I remember that he said that really stuck in my brain was, show the kids you care first, and then you can kind of build from there. And how much do you think about that? And a school like Pleasantville where they have struggled in the past, I think that's one of the key things is showing these guys you care about them, not only as football players but as people. And that's really the first building block of the foundation, correct?
Oh, no question. I mean, we came in here, and I'm fortunate enough to be in the building, so I get to see these kids every day. But our staff does a great job. I mean, these kids know that we care about them. I mean, we do a lot of nice things for them. I could thank my parents, and a lot of people even from our community where I grew up that help pitch in, and we get these guys pretzels and things after the games for bus rides, and we try to do little tokens of appreciation. We had our barbecue last week for them, and we really want them to know that, we do care about them as individuals, regardless of the record. Come out here, give us effort, and, we're going to do this together, and that's where we're at right now. And I think they know that. And, those personal relationships come before winning and losing any day of the week. And, I'm definitely grateful and thankful for the relationships that I've been able to make over the last 15 months, and hopefully we can just continue to get better and stronger and go from there.
Coach, how important is it for you and your staff to continually reach out to these parents and say, hey, we appreciate your boys coming out. We want you to be in their lives, and we want you to get them motivated to come out here and play football, because there's a lot of life lessons to be learned in football, not just the X's and O's. And when you have the parents behind you and really supporting you, that can go a long way in keeping these guys in line and keeping them motivated to keep coming out and giving a solid effort every day.
Yeah, there's no question. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to be in the building, so I get to communicate with parents throughout the day. And that is a big thing, just trying to get them to buy into us, to buy into the program, and that, we really want, it is a high level of commitment. Football is you practice 6 days a week and you play one game a week, and it is a high level of commitment because you're not playing 2 or 3 games a week. And a lot more goes into this, I want to say, as far as practice goes. And, sometimes that's not always entertaining for the kids, to come out and practice for 2.5 hours, 4 days a week, and then have a walkthrough and then play a game. So we do need that extra support, whether it's from the community or the parents or whoever, any type of family member, brothers, sisters, whoever it is. So that definitely helps the commitment. I think ultimately if we can win some games this year, that'll spark some interest as well. We're trying to work closely with the Jokers program down there. They have some good numbers this year, so it's all about working with them and keeping those kids involved as well, and trying to get to know, the coaches and the families down there as well. So this way they feel comfortable enough to send their kids to Pleasantville High School when it comes time.
Coach, did you have any kind of talk with your team in the summer training camp about expectations and maybe raising those expectations? Maybe saying, hey, last year was kind of getting to know each other, but now we got to get down to work and get better every day. Was there any kind of conversation like that in terms of, hey, let's aim higher, let's shoot for the stars, and even if we come up short, we're still getting better every day?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, like I said, last year it was, we tried our best to work with, a short amount of time and the situation that we were dealt with. And, I thought our staff did a nice job, and I thought the kids really gave an effort, even though our record didn't indicate it. It was a rough year. But, this year, since we were in the weight room in January, and we do have a full off season with them, we did talk about the expectations of this team. And, moving to the West Jersey League and, having the opportunity to maybe play some more competitive games on a week-in and week-out basis, we definitely raised the bar. And I think they're getting the idea of that throughout our first 3 scrimmages. We've done, fairly well through our first 3 scrimmages, but when we're watching the film, we're pointing things out to them that maybe we wouldn't have pointed out to them last year, that, we're trying to take it to the next level, stepping with the wrong foot. Maybe we didn't correct it every time last year, but we're trying to correct it every time this year, because we do want the bar to be raised, and we do want to go further this year, and we can do it if the kids are willing to work and listen and put in the time and the effort in the film room, on the field, in the weight room. All those things go hand in hand. So, but definitely the expectations are raised, and we are expecting a lot out of them this year.
Talking with head coach Chris Sacco from Pleasantville High School football. Coach, talk about your staff a little bit. This is obviously a challenge for all of you to build up a program, from square one, basically, and it's not easy to go alone as a head coach, and you definitely need some support. So tell me a little bit about these guys and the kind of effort they've been putting in on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, we really do have a nice staff. We're all relatively young in terms of age, and we're trying to grow together. This way, we can build a solid foundation and be here together for the next several years and continue to grow. So, but Keith Corcoran, who I coached with I coached with him at St. Joseph High School. Chris Mancuso, who played at Holy Spirit, have ties to him. He's helping out, defensive coordinator Greg Wilkins, also played football for Oklahoma. Great with the defensive line, offensive line. Collins Days, Javier Garcia. Nate Hennings, our offensive line coach. So all these guys really do an excellent job of getting here, building great relationships with the players, and pulling them aside when they need to be pulled aside, and kind of get them back in, because sometimes things don't always go the way we want during practice, and the kids need to be pulled aside and just talked to, and the kid, like I said, the coaches have great relationships with them. So it's definitely important to have good X and O coaches, but I think it's more so important to have good interpersonal skills to be able to relate with these kids and get the best out of them, get the most out of them.
Coach, one thing that people may find silly, but I think is really important, especially when you're talking about high school kids, is the little things that make you feel like a solid program. I mean, you guys went out, got new helmets, you get new jerseys, trying to make these kids feel like, hey, we're a solid team. We're going to get the good stuff, the good gear. Obviously, you'd love to have a lot more practice equipment and all that kind of stuff, but just those little steps you're taking. Talk about that a little bit and how much that resonates with the kids.
I mean, they're so appreciative of like you said, we got the white helmets this year, and then we got the gray jerseys for the home and new white pants for the away, and they're just starting to. They feel appreciated. They're very appreciative, and it does try to get the best out of them, or it goes a long way in getting the best out of them. Even watching the tape from our scrimmages, we were just wearing gray jerseys and white pants, but we all looked like a team. We played like a team, and it was nice to see. Like when we put the film on after our first scrimmage, we all looked at each other and we were like, we're getting there. We're not there. We're far from where we want to be, but we're getting there. And the kids, when they all look at each other wearing, nice uniforms and nice pants, that fires them up a little bit, and they play harder, and they want to work harder and work as a unit. And, it definitely goes a long way. Like you said, this is just the first step, and hopefully, continuing to build and getting things down the road. But, they definitely appreciate it and see that we're working hard to get the things that we need to be a successful program.
I'll tell you what, man, those new white helmets are pretty sweet. I like them.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the kids like them.
Kind of an old school look. I like it.
Yeah, so but it goes well, and we want to kind of usher in a new era here, starting this year, and we think that maybe switching up, the look a little bit, kind of help take us there.
Coach, got about a minute left here. I wanted to talk real quick about the West Jersey Football League, and really they did a great job with these schedules and these divisions. And for a school like Pleasantville, it really has to excite you guys. You get to play a lot more schools that are on your level in terms of size, and like you said, can be a little bit more competitive week in and week out. You don't have to go out and play these Group 5 schools.
Yeah, and last year, we hit a stretch. It was like Bridgeton, Cedar Creek, Holy Spirit, Buena, and they were all exceptional teams last year, and we just didn't have the depth as far as especially in terms of the line. So it's nice being able to play schools, that might have the same amount of kids as us, just to get this hopefully rebuilt, this program rebuilt, and start the rebuilding process. So, whether or not that's going to equal more wins, that has yet to be seen. We just play who's on our schedule, but just looking from, the outside in right now, it definitely looks like it was a good move to go to West Jersey, especially for our program and starting the rebuilding process. But I think for majority of the programs, around South Jersey, I think they're excited about the move.
Good stuff, Coach. Appreciate you taking a few minutes, and good luck this year, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate all you guys do for South Jersey football. So thanks a lot.
No problem. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too, Sully. Thanks.
That was Chris Sacco from Pleasantville High School, doing a great job in his second year trying to rebuild that program. So we'll be keeping tabs on them, and hopefully some big things to come down the road for the Greyhounds.